Welcome to Single Stories, a fun, creative, and unfiltered chat with me, Ginger Robbie. I'm the founder of Ginger Robbie Designs and Seaside Drafting and Designs. I'm a designer, architect, entrepreneur, mom, and now an empty nester. After more than 20 years in the interior design and architect world, I've seen it all, from building dream homes and starting two businesses to raising my son solo and navigating all the chaos, creativity, and courage it takes to build the life you want on your own terms. This podcast is where we'll dive into the stories behind the spaces, the real life journey of what it means to design a career, a business, and a home, all while chasing your dreams and finding your voice. We'll talk about the industry, the grind, the wins, the mess ups, and everything in between. Whether you're a fellow designer, a business owner, a mom trying to figure it out, or just someone who loves a good story, Single Stories is for you. Let's build something beautiful, one story at a time. Hi, welcome to Single Stories. It's been a minute. We've been doing a lot of events. A lot of things have been going on. Today we're going to have a really good, fun conversation with Scott Hensley of Oasis Smart Home. They actually did an event with us at Patio Productions last month. And it was a great event for our company, as you know, our Design Coach Collective company that we have. And they were one of our sponsors. It was really fun and we had a really good time. So we're going to sit down and talk with Scott.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm here with Scott Hensley, and he is with Oasis Smart Homes. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Oasis, because you were so generous in supporting our last event. So I'd love everybody to know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. Oasis Smart Homes is a company. We are based in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we service the entire Phoenix area, and we also service all of Southern California. And we are a provider of low voltage and home technologies, and we are also a full C10 electrical company. So we can do anything with a wire in residential construction. We can pretty much handle it. So from your smart home needs to your audio video needs for your theaters, to your lighting design, lighting fixtures, anything, HVAC control, anything with a wire we can integrate with and be able to service those types of devices.
That's awesome. And so you guys are in Arizona, but I know that you're up in Orange County as well. I've been to that facility, which is awesome. Your theater room is really great. I've been in there. So do you guys like being in Orange County as well and being able to service that area?
Yeah, so we're primarily for Southern California. We are based in Orange County, so we have a showroom in Corona Del Mar, and then we also have more of like an operations facility based in Anaheim. So that's where we do all of our warehousing and admin work, and where my office is.
Nice.
And the showroom's by appointment only, so we can have guests and builders and designers, and we meet with everybody there.
That's
for
great.
all those needs. Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah. Because I know all of us designers always want to go and see everything. And my builders, they want to know how everything works, which is really, really great. So first off, one of the questions I want to ask you is, with our industry, there's always problems in the industry. And so how was launching Oasis Smart Homes kind of helping to alleviate that? Because I know we have theater rooms and then trying to hide speakers and then sound quality and all that. So how did you guys kind of come up with a way to alleviate those problems?
So, we have great front end processes and, from a design standpoint, meeting with clients, meeting with designers and figuring out exactly what they want and then putting a plan together. And, there's a lot of companies that do that really well. There's a lot of companies in both markets, both Phoenix and Southern California, that can put a pair of speakers in the ceiling or put a touch screen on the wall or hang a TV or whatever it is. And the biggest problem with our industry is how do you service it once it's done? These systems are very complicated. We make them easy for the end user, but what goes into them is very complicated. And there's going to be things that, go wrong over time, and there's going to be needs to change programming. And so what type of company are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a company that's always chasing the next project? Or are you dealing with a company that is going to service their existing clientele? And so when you're dealing with some smaller companies, a lot of times they might be chasing that next project and maybe don't have an immediate response plan for you. Whereas one of our goals, and always has been our goal from the very beginning, is to provide a great service. So when you've got that Super Bowl party coming up, or you're entertaining for the holidays and something's not working right, we have dedicated service technicians. We have a dedicated service department to be able to turn around and get you a timely service call to get your system up and running. And then we also facilitate the ability to do remote service calls when necessary, so that we don't have to always roll a truck out. A lot of times we can service the systems remotely.
Oh, that's actually pretty convenient because there's a lot of times, like you said, if you're in the middle of an event or you have people coming over, it's really hard to have all these people or a couple of techs come in and fix it. So if it's remote, that's convenient. I don't feel like there's many systems that do that these days. So that's a pretty great feature.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we really pride ourselves in, and it's something when we go to market or we go into meetings, it's something we really try to promote.
That's great. So how did the company evolve over the years? I know you said it started in Arizona and then you've moved forward. I know you guys have been around for a long time. I've known about you and
Yeah.
love your product, love your services. But how did you guys kind of evolve a little bit?
So when we first started, we were just a low voltage wiring company. So doing the audio video stuff and evolving into smart home. And then the biggest transition for us was to become a full electrical company. And you see out in our industry, you see some electrical companies trying to get into the smart home space. And they oftentimes end up failing because they don't realize how nuanced our systems are and how complicated they can be sometimes. Whereas we took the knowledge of the low voltage and smart home side and then brought it to the electrical side. And so now we have the knowledge of both ends. So what's great about that is that as a general contractor, you only have one phone call to make for both trades.
That's nice. I know because we work on site a lot. We are on every site. I feel like I'm I'm the person in the middle trying to fix everything. My guys, my contractors are trying to run around. So that is actually really nice to do electrical and installation and all of that. So that's amazing that you guys did that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
So what systems set you apart from sound and lighting? And then I know we'll also probably talk about lighting and health because that's a really big thing right now, sustainability and all that. But what sets you guys apart from the sound market and the lighting market besides being your own electrician, which is great, and having your own
Yeah.
team? But how would you guys say you are separated for people who don't know understand what smart home is as well? Maybe you could tell a little bit about that too.
Sure. There's a lot of smart home companies out there, and we all, provide the integration of the lighting and the thermostats and the garage door openers and the door locks and the cameras, being able to provide entertainment as well as security. And then on top of that, being able to do all of the electrical as well. And, a couple services that we provide that most companies in our industry don't provide. We do interior lighting design, which is a awesome benefit to be able to provide that extra service, because if we're doing the lighting, then and we're doing the design of it, then it's you get that full integration, and we have the knowledge from the very beginning, from the design standpoint all the way to the finish standpoint. And just some of the products that we're authorized to sell that you have to go through extensive trainings for, like the Lutron Ketra product. Not just any contractor off the street can go become a Lutron Ketra dealer. It requires a lot of training and to be able to gain access to sell the product and install it. And then there's several other manufacturers that provide products like that we're also authorized to sell, that not everybody in our industry has available to them.
That's really great. And then for some people who don't know exactly what smart homes are, like my parents I got them a smartphone this year and they're learning how to use it. My dad's obsessed with his watch. My mom's obsessed with her phone. They had a flip phone, they had a regular watch, they had all that stuff. So in saying that, for that generation who doesn't understand smart home, I guess, is like where you can control it from your phone or you can program it. So how exactly could we explain smart home to the generation that doesn't know about it, but that probably needs it, especially if you're getting in you're living in your home or aging in place in your home and you need to come in and the lights turn on or sound just automatically turns on. Like, how would you explain that?
So a lot of people think, just because you have some, quote unquote smart home products, maybe you have a thermostat that's connected to your phone or a door lock that's connected to your phone. And, all of these smart devices that go into a home, that doesn't make it a smart home. That just makes we call it maybe a connected home. Because now you have, 5, 10, maybe even 15 apps to control your home. And how do we bring that all into one app and, make it more of a lifestyle product? So the system kind of adapts to how you live, or it can be programmed to it, programmed to work or how you live in your home. So whether it's lighting or thermostat control. So being able to walk into your home and press a button, and it automatically sets your thermostat to the right temperature. It puts the lights at the level that you like them. It starts playing your favorite playlist, and all of those things with the press of a button. Or being able to have a button, as you walk into your bedroom before you go to bed at night, that says good night. So it checks to make sure the door's locked, arms the security system, turns all the lights off from, downstairs to upstairs, checks to make sure the garage door is closed, and
Wow.
can indicate, maybe one of the kids left their bike in front of the sensor. So now you got to, go and make sure, remove that object and close the garage door. So creating scenes and ways to make your life easier in your home, and also make it more enjoyable.
I like that. I like that you said it's more of a lifestyle app, because that is so true in the fact of how we all are so different. Like, I really like how you talked about how you could make a scene that it turns the whole house down. I would love that, because I'm always the
Yeah.
last one in. I'm always like stepping over the dog in the dark, and I'm trying to shut the windows and lock the doors and turn the lights off. And by the time I get to my room, it's like, did did I actually do and then I go back and I look, and if I had an app that just did it, it's like, could they shut the doors to them? That would be so nice. So I do like it that it's a lifestyle, and we all have so many different lifestyles. Like, I'm a working professional, you're a working professionals. We have stay-at-home moms, we have, people that work from home, we have people that work at night and then come home in the day, I have people that work in the day, come home at night, or travel. So I really like that you guys have that ability to make your lights and all the features kind of go into you program it for the person and not just for a general public.
Yeah.
So I like
That
that.
can be, those types of things can be programmed for multiple users in the house. You can have a mom scene, a dad scene, a Lakers party scene where everything, the lights turn purple and gold, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's really great. I should put that in my office. So okay, and talking about that, I guess we could talk about what is your favorite feature about so you guys have a lot of products, but what's your personal, or what is the most requested favorite feature of your products?
I would say as of lately, the most requested feature is just, lighting. And I know we're probably going to touch on that, but lighting
Mhm.
has become such an important thing. And there's a lot of products that came out this year, and we've been doing trainings at our showroom for, for clients and for builders and for designers about some of these new products, about, just how you can create these awesome interior environments with really high quality lighting fixtures. So that's been the hot topic as of lately. For me, I'm an audio guy. I love having music everywhere. If you're at our house, there's music always playing. And so having something more than just like an Alexa speaker sitting on your countertop, get a real listening experience with, full bass tones and quality high end, and whether that's through an architectural speaker or even a set of bookshelf speakers and a subwoofer. And then, the ease of use of that, of course.
Yeah, that's great. I love music too. So I know do you guys still have the speakers that go in the walls and you can drywall over them? Do you guys still have those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really popular product right now too. I have a few homes, one we just wrapped up in out in Rancho Mirage, another one I'm doing up in Redondo Beach, that they have the whole house is just, they're called invisible speakers. So you can, you put them in during construction, and then they get mudded and drywalled over, and then you go in, you tune them, and you walk into it. And it's pretty magical, because you're looking around, you don't see the big pancake in your ceiling from the speaker grill, and you get really good sound dispersion from that technology. So You don't have like hot spots of audio from when you're standing right under the speaker. It actually disperses the sound in a bigger pattern, so it gets better coverage throughout the space that you're trying to put audio in.
That's cool. I've seen this in person. I've seen it at your showroom where you show the framing and then you show the speaker being in there and you show it mudded over. And I have convinced a few of my clients to purchase this and
Yeah,
do it. And definitely in pre-construction or if you're going to remodel, I think it's great. It's like it really is the best thing because we don't want to see all those wires and those speakers, like you said. And I love how you said it's a sound experience. So I
yeah.
think having a sound experience is great or even outside, but I do really I love that because I love buildings. So I think that's a really cool feature. Okay, so we were talking about lighting. Lighting is really important. I just
Right.
met with somebody yesterday and his whole thing was about lighting. He talked about every ribbon, I need lighting, I want lighting, and he's a tech guy and I need more lighting. And so I'm sure you and I will talk after this. But so lighting is a huge thing. And then lighting with health, like circadian lighting, where it starts from the morning and goes to the evening. So I know years and years ago, there was all those studies that came out. In talking about that, how do you feel like your guys' lighting kind of goes into the health side of people living in their homes or offices or buildings or wherever they are?
Yeah, so again, it starts the design side, right? Addressing, like the client you met with yesterday is really concerned about lighting, understanding what their needs are, for each space that they have in their home, and then specing in the right product for it. Do they need full color? What's the quality of light that we need? Maybe we just need tunable in that area. We don't need full color. So designing a system that can meet a budget as well as the functionality. And as you were referring to, all those studies that have come out in recent years that are talking about how bad artificial light is, for our health. Messes up our sleep cycles, can energize us or drain us of energy depending on the quality of the light. So circadian lighting is a big thing, and if it's done properly, it can really enhance this experience because what you're doing is you're putting in a high quality lighting fixture that does a really good job of recreating outdoor light indoors and can match the time of day. So your natural sleep cycle and your natural awake cycle, they go through the same rhythm, whether you're inside or outside. So when you hit those high energy points, like, between noon and 2 o'clock, instead of feeling that fatigue, you kind of get energized. Or maybe you have a work from home, or you're out in like you and I are out in the field a lot all day,
Yeah.
and then we get home and we have projects that we have to get completed. Maybe we're working late that night. Well, now you can tune the lighting in your office to kind of give you an energized feeling and keep you awake rather than feeling sluggish from your long day. So we can do all of those things.
I think that's great because yeah, I do. I'm like you. Yeah, we're out all day. So
Yeah.
then we work at night
Yes.
because we have to get paperwork done or drawings done or things done. So that's very true. But that's so true. So I think years ago, I think I had talked to you guys about this and I had put it in my house, in my house at the time. And it actually is true. So in the it would wake me up slowly and have like my day, and then I'd get to the middle and I was so productive. And then
Yeah.
it winded me back down and kind of it actually put me to sleep. And
100%.
health wise, I felt so much better then. I don't have that where I am now, in our house now. I think I should put it back because I'm up all the time now and I'm like, how do I go to bed? How do I go to sleep? And it's funny because I talk to my clients about this for health benefits. It keeps you younger, makes you feel better and all that. So I love that you guys do that. And do you guys program that into the lighting or do you program it into the house or how do you do it?
Yeah, so you can program it so that it's automatic, or you can program it as a scene that's activated. So you can wake up and hit your circadian rhythm, or it maybe automatically starts, like you had mentioned you had in your
Mm.
previous home, so that as the sun's rising, your lights start coming on, matching that same color temperature. And you can have that automatically run, and it can only run while you're at home. Like your system can, knows when you're at home,
Yeah.
or you can trigger it on your own. Maybe like I said, you're working in your office late at night. Now you need that 12 noon lighting in your office, but the rest of the house is
Doesn't
dark
need. Yeah.
to go to sleep.
The dogs would be like, "What are you doing?" They usually end up at my office anyways, and then they're
Right.
hiding under my desk trying to sleep in the dark, and I'm trying to work. So that's
Yeah.
very true. Okay, so many people have heard of of like your systems and the overall wellness of it. Where, if let's say somebody wants to come see this, where would they come and look at some of this
So
product?
we have some of that in our showroom in Corona del Mar. One of our vendor partners is opening a new showroom in Irvine, California that
Oh,
is will have that as well as several other products that relate to our industry. So we could take them on a full tour of like video walls, circadian rhythm with Ketra lighting. We have some other partner showrooms in different areas that feature different products that not necessarily from Lutron, but from another company called DMF, which is a
okay.
product that we absolutely love. Um, so we have several different ways to do that.
Oh, that's
There's
great. What
also a
is,
there's also a
oh,
showroom in San Clemente that features the full Ketra lighting as well.
I like the one. I've been to the one in San Clemente, and I know you
Yep.
guys have outdoor sound out there too, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. It's like you don't even notice the speakers. I think that's great because, like you said, I love sound. I love music because I'm always moving around. I don't watch TV. I don't have time to watch TV. If I watch it, it's on my phone and like
Right.
while I'm working, which is really sad. But what is two things? What exactly is Ketra lighting, and then what is DMF? Because I haven't
Okay.
heard of those.
So Ketra is a brand underneath the Lutron umbrella. So Ketra is considered the world's best artificial light source. It does the best job of recreating outdoor light inside, and that technology came about. Considered the world's best artificial light source.
Mhm.
It was created about, I think it's about 15 years ago, by an independent a guy that was trying to create interior lighting for cars actually, and he created an
Oh,
LED. Yeah, he created an LED chip, and it ended up being used for interior lighting in homes. And Lutron bought it up, refined the manufacturing process, and um, now it is a full color spectrum lighting fixture. They have retrofit models, they have new construction models, multiple sizes, multiple trims. And so it does the best job of any light fixture of recreating that circadian rhythm.
oh, okay.
And then just as a benefit of that, when they were trying to recreate the circadian rhythm, they also created the largest color spectrum of any light fixture because you needed, certain amounts of reds and blues and all the different color spectrums in order to recreate sunlight as best as you could. And so because of that, now you can create all these cool party themes because you've got, I think, over 6
Ah,
million colors that the light fixture itself can make, and it has sensors in it so that it can automatically match the lights of the other colors within the room. So if one bulb over time was at, let's call it 2700 Kelvin when it started, but now it can't quite reach that 2700, so it goes to 2650. Now all the bulbs will match the 2650 because they can automatically
that's really
detect each
cool.
other. Yeah,
That's
so
really
it's really cool. And the other cool thing about the Ketra lighting fixtures is that the technology is built into the fixture itself. So it doesn't rely on necessarily like a light switch or a dimmer to control it. Each individual light fixture is addressable. So let's say I've got 12 cans in a large family room, and I can create a scene where maybe only 4 of those cans turn on, based on my lighting needs for that particular scene,
oh,
or I can have each can make a different color. So each fixture itself is addressable in that type of system.
that's
And so
pretty cool.
yeah, so those types of fixtures don't necessarily meet every budget that's in place. So there's other manufacturers. Lutron now has a couple of other lines called their Rania line and their Lumeris line that are lower in cost. They don't do the full color spectrum, but they do tunable white, and
Okay.
so they can help recreate that circadian rhythm as well. And so they meet a budget. And then the other manufacturer that we really like as well, on top, in addition to Lutron, is a company called DMF.
Okay.
They are a family-owned business out of Torrance, California. They've been making lighting products for years, and now they have an addressable fixture as well called Phase X. We've implemented several of these systems, and it's an addressable, tunable fixture. It's called digital addressable tunable lighting, and so it has a couple of benefits other than the quality of light that it's providing. It provides you more control. So again, each fixture is addressable. So what that means is that you can actually, whether you're using Ketra, Lumeris, Rania, or DMF, you can wire multiple, like 60 plus fixtures to a single 15 amp circuit. So
Oh,
it cuts down on your electrical costs of the amount of wire that you have to run, and you don't have to run the switch legs. So you run low voltage wires to keypads for each room. So it
that's really cool.
eliminates, yeah. So it creates the same technology as kind of a panelized lighting system without the expense of a panelized lighting system. So now you can take that budget that you might have allocated for a panelized lighting system and put
Uh-huh.
it into a quality light fixture and still get the same effect. So you're getting more bang for your buck in that aspect.
Yeah, that's really cool. I
Yeah.
really like that. So if you can take all this and then stick it into, you're saying it can go into like the panel and not take as many amps?
Yeah, exactly. So you can wire 60 plus of these lighting fixtures to a single 15 amp circuit. So that means I don't have to, like, for in a traditional home, as you know, you would, let's say you've got 3 bedrooms. Each one of those bedrooms you would run, four, let's call it 4 cans, and then to a light switch, and then and then home run back to the panel. You
Yeah.
know, and so you'd have three separate runs there. But this, I can take all 3 of those bedrooms, and then a dining room, a living room, and all of that. I can wire it all on one 15 amp circuit,
That's pretty
and I
cool.
can, and I can put those all in line because each fixture is addressable, since the technology is built into the fixture itself and not into the smart switch or whatever your control device is for your traditional lighting.
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah,
actually would be really good for a lot of my clients, are investors, or they do flips, and a lot of times, or even just general clients, they don't want, or they can't build up their panels. So if you
yeah,
could put more electric, and that's usually our biggest problem. It's like we need to get more lights. We don't have enough in the panel. We need more
yeah.
appliances, which take up the panel. So, and appliances are so much bigger now than they used to be. So that's a really nice feature. I am gonna definitely be talking to a few of my clients about that. So that's pretty cool. I had another question for you too, as far as, so you're talking about the fixtures, and if nobody knows, are you talking more like can lights? Are you talking more like light bulbs? Are you talking more like chandelier type thing? What kind, or outdoor lights? What kind of lights are we really talking about on that part of it?
The majority of those would just be your general downlights.
Okay.
But for example, with the Ketra product, they do make light bulbs, so you can put those into
Oh,
lamps. They make chandelier bulbs that can go into chandeliers, sconces, so forth and so on. So they've kind of got and they've got retrofit solutions as well. So
oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's
yeah,
good to know. Because yeah, it's like, I know it's so funny. Like all of us in the industry, we know exactly what we're talking about. There's so many times that someone will watch what we're doing or hear what we're doing, and they're like, I didn't know exactly what you were talking about. So I think it's like good to let everybody know. And then there's like new up and coming designers and builders and
yeah.
even homeowners. So that's really nice to always kind of explain to them about these things. What else? So if you want to, we kind of talked about how we could seamlessly put these into the panel and things like that. Okay, so for sound, we haven't really touched too much on sound.
Yeah.
If we put sound into the house, is that pretty easy to integrate into the house, or is it take a little bit more work? Like it takes more work if we put things into the hidden walls. I mean, the hidden speakers into the walls, but for the sound, is that pretty easy to integrate into the house or into the space?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you already have the infrastructure in place, or if you're dealing with new construction, because with sound, most of the time you want to get everything as hardwired. You want wires running to speakers. You don't want to do wireless solutions. Then you have a compromise there, right?
Yeah.
Um, However, if you're working with an existing home, and you're trying to avoid turning the house into Swiss cheese, then we do we do have some solutions available where we can, whether it's a sound bar mounted to a TV, or maybe we just wire, instead of running everything back to a central closet, we wire a pair of speakers locally, and we have amps that can communicate on the Wi-Fi, so you get the best of both worlds. You still get a wireless smart solution that you can control from a mobile device or a touch screen or whatever that might be,
Mhm.
but you still have the hardwired factor of getting a quality amplifier on the front end of a pair of really nice speakers. So you're not compromising the sound quality, and still without having to cut the house up into a million pieces.
Oh, that's great. That's good to know. And I know I've been in your theater room. It's your San Clemente space, and that thing was awesome. If
Yeah.
nobody's gone, it's definitely an experience to have. And I mean, it came from every single way, and it was a really great experience. I could say I've been in other theater rooms, but that one was great. The sound quality was amazing. So do you guys use your own speakers? Do you partner with somebody? Like how does that work?
So we have several manufacturers that they work with, and the theater room that you're referring to is the Sonance Theater Room in San Clemente. That's where their Sonance James loudspeakers. That's where their facility is at, and they've got all of their products on display, ready for demo there. And we can schedule appointments to do a tour there anytime a client might want or a builder might want. And we have our own showroom again in Corona del Mar, and so those can be scheduled as well. So we work with manufacturers like Sonance. We also do very high-end speakers, like a very popular brand that a lot of people have heard of is Macintosh. So Macintosh is we're Macintosh dealers, we're Trinov dealers, JBL, any of the major speaker manufacturers that you've heard of, and a lot that you probably haven't. That we have access to those products.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
really fun. I know you guys do. Are you guys thinking of anything in the future? Like, do you guys have any plans for new and upcoming, or are you guys just like refining more of what you guys have been so great at? Or what do you think your future plans would be, or where do you think you'll go from here?
It's definitely to expand our electrical department in California. We have a full electrical department in Arizona, full electrical crews and things like that. Here in Southern California, we are picking and choosing the jobs we want to do that make the most sense for us, as we kind of got some limited resources. But as we grow that business and make it larger and it becomes more prevalent, then we're going to expand those crews and have more resources to be able to take on more projects. And that automatically expands into more opportunities on the low voltage and smart home side.
That's great. That's really great. So, well, I do really appreciate all of your time on this. And do you have any other advice for anyone, or ideas that they should know about that maybe I missed?
I would just say, as with anything, always inform yourself, research things, and you can always use us as a resource. Any designers or builders out there, you don't have to, if you ever have questions, feel free to give me a call. I'm more than happy to just have a conversation with you. It doesn't have to be a sales process. It can just be educational. And that's the approach that we like to take. Overall, is we take an educational approach and let you, the designer, or you, the client, make the best decision for the way you're going to live in your space.
That's perfect. And then, okay, so what is your website so everybody can check you out or get a hold of you?
So it's the website is oasissmarthomes.com, and that's homes with an S at the end. So oasissmarthomes.com, and you can always reach any one of us, sales at oasissmarthomes.com.
That's so great.
Depending on where you're at, the appropriate representative will get back to you.
Okay. Well, thank you. I actually learned more than I thought I would in this, because I know so much about you guys. I'm always reading about you and checking you out and seeing what new stuff is coming, and I send it out to everybody. So this was really nice. I learned so much more, and like you said, I didn't know what catcher lighting was or DMF. So I'm kind of excited about DMF because they're kind of local, and I always am wanting to support the family-owned little businesses, because that's how I started out. So I love that. So this was really great, and I thank you for that. And then I also thank you for being one of our sponsors for Design Coach Collective at Patio Productions. That was a really fun event. So I'm so glad you guys were able to be a part of that too. So I really appreciate that. And we always love you guys. So of course we always want to spread the word about you and get you out there a little bit more. So
we definitely appreciate that and appreciate the opportunity to be a sponsor. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So, well, thanks. This was really great. And we hope to have you back on here again soon.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Single Stories, where design meets real life, one story at a time. This episode was produced and edited by Ginger Robbie. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, and don't forget to leave a review or share it with your friends.